We always open up shows with stuff we just can't use.
Yeah.
This is episode 67. Weighing in with Travis Hartman. I am B Money, the producer. That over there is Weekend Trav. We're
What's
coming
up, y'all?
to you from the TH Boxing facility, thanks to one of our media partners, that is TH Boxing, but also special thanks to Gulfstream Financial and IF Enterprises. As always, Weekend Trav, we're not going to delay any. We're going to jump right into the highly contested and heated bout, which kind of replaced another bout. Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. So we're going to give you our take on that. We got a Beardsman of the week. We got a Moneyshot of the week. We got all sorts of stuff to talk about.
We got our bourbon.
We got our bourbon, Wiseman, Kentucky straight bourbon. So we'll talk about that. We got a lot to get through in the show, but we're going to jump right in, off the deep end.
Let's get it.
Right into Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley 2.
Ooh, this is the actual card. There's about 3 or 4 actual boxing matches that are some legit high-level people. So that's pretty good to see. But now to the Paul Woodley, the main event, the one that everybody's tuning in to watch, the one that we care so much about, the one that we really don't want to watch, but we're going to watch because everybody's watching it, and we have to talk about it because we do a podcast about boxing, so we're supposed to do that, right?
But it's also much better than the fight that was supposed to be with a Fury brother that we don't want to see because we like the other Fury brother, but we don't like that other one that doesn't even look like his brother. We didn't want to see that fight to begin with. It was going to be boring no matter what we tried to talk about and what they try to do with antics in the back rooms and the locker rooms and trying to create heat. We're so happy that he actually got hurt, probably from a medicine ball from his heavyweight champ brother. But now we're back to Tyron Woodley taking on Jake Paul.
And talking about that on the #1 boxing podcast, specifically in Orlando, specifically in Laureate Park, specifically in a boxing gym, specifically sometimes on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We don't know, but sometimes it's a Friday. So sometimes we just do it whenever we do it, and when we're supposed to do it. Sometimes we do it Zoom, sometimes we do it live. It doesn't even matter because sometimes we just do it because we do these things.
And today's Friday.
In the world.
Okay, so Saturday, I can't see with these on. Saturday, the December 18th, coming to you from Tampa, Florida, Amalie Arena, where the Tampa Bay Lightning play on Showtime pay-per-view. We have Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. There's a couple other fights like you alluded to, but let's talk about the main event. This is the one everyone wants to pay the $60 to see, I think. So, Weekend Travel, let's jump right in to just the contest between these two.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's opinion is differently because me and you personally didn't really want to see the Tommy Fury fight, but we did have some people commenting, actual boxers commenting on our Instagram page that said, no, they actually wanted to see the Tommy fight over the Woodley fight, which was surprising to me to hear that. But for us personally, we didn't really want to see it. I do think if those are the only 2 fights we could have chose, I think the Tyron Woodley fight versus Paul is a better fight. I think it's more competitive. I think it's there's more exciting. There is some excitement because Woodley did hurt Jake Paul in the first fight. And ironically, nobody really talks about it. Jake Paul hurt Tyron Woodley in that fight. If you watch it, if you're a boxer, you pay enough attention, you know that there was a spot in that fight when Woodley was hurt as well. So, predictions. I think the betting favorite is Paul. What was it, 240, minus 240?
It's either minus 240 or 250, depending on when you're seeing it. And then Tyron Woodley is plus 200, at least.
I am going to go with the same outcome as the first fight. Okay. I'm calling Jake Paul. I do not believe it's going to be a knockout. I predicted a knockout in the first one, and I was wrong. So I'm predicting that I think it's going to go the distance. And I think we're going to see a win on points from Jake Paul.
Okay.
And I know that there's a lot of hype around this fight because the first fight did do very well pay-per-view. So I expect this one to do just as good pay-per-view. But why I said that is because of something you mentioned off the air talking about it. It would only make sense to somehow put some controversy in this one to make a third fight.
So that's what I think. So you have it going the distance. You have Jake Paul. You have a UD, or do you have a split?
I mean, I think honestly it should be a UD, but I think you might see something stupid like a majority decision, an MD, or a split decision. You know, I mean, I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say a majority decision. Okay. I'm gonna say they're gonna do something like a draw. The last time should have been that way. I couldn't believe that one judge.
Ooh, I didn't even think about a draw. Could you imagine that?
Yeah. Wonder what the betting odds on draws are. You know, I predicted a draw against Victor Ortiz and Lamont Peterson in the pros on the air. They asked me what my prediction was. I go, it's going to be a draw. The next night, it was a draw. I'm not calling a draw here, but if you hit a draw, you're looking at some odds or phenomenal. Let me look that up.
Here's what I think. As we talked about this in pre-production, and we both talked about, hey, you know what? We saw both the guys get hurt in the first fight that they had.
Yep, they did.
Do we think that's going to happen this time? Obviously, Jake has a little more time to train, whatever else. Tyron Woodley kind of understands his opponent a little better, which I think that's why it's going to be a little bit different in this case. But I think the end result is going to be the same, but probably with controversy. I also am taking Jake Paul, not because I like the guy, not because I love him as a boxer, but I think it's going to be a split decision victory over Tyron Woodley, but probably marred in some sort of controversy, which is just going to keep that nasty fire going under people's backsides, talking their crap on social media. Oh, he won because of this, or no way he won, and the points, and blah, 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 blah. But I think it's going to be a split decision. Jake Paul going the full distance. I don't think either one knocks each other out. I know Tyron Woodley has a little added part in his contract this time around, $500,000 if he KOs or TKOs Jake Paul, but I honestly just don't see that happening. Now, if he does, I don't think any of us are going to be like, darn.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I hate to say that because I don't know the guy personally, and probably never will. But it's like one of those where it's it's eventually going to happen, right? Eventually.
I mean, and that's going to end the trend. Jake Paul has built his career so early on his bravado and all that stuff. So one win or one loss for him does ruin it all. For the normal boxer, one loss, you're okay. You can rebound from that and fight your way back. But one loss for his specific career path, it does kind of ruin him.
So then the question is, has the promotion company that he started and they've been really starting to get after it, has that built up enough to where he doesn't need to do this anymore? I don't know. There's just a lot of things that I
it has not.
question.
It has not. No, I don't think he's got that kind of experience or clout necessarily to literally lose today and his promotion company be successful. They signed Amanda Serrano, who is phenomenal, one of the best in the game right now, pound for pound, for sure.
Also fighting on the card, not co-main event, but she's a fight before.
So with that being said, can Amanda Serrano carry that promotion? No. It just can't. There's how many women pro boxers right now are able to carry an entire show? I think they had Clarissa Shields headline a Showtime card, and I don't think it did very well. No. So we haven't seen it again because she's crossing over to MMA.
It's just interesting the things he's done in the background of helping to support different fighters, not just boxers, but UFC. I know there was a story about the GoFundMe for the female fighter and him chipping in for that. I just wonder, what is he doing? What's the ultimate game plan here, to represent anybody else outside of the boxing world? So ultimately, I know we all have a question mark around this guy and around some of these fights. Is it real? Is it not real? I definitely 100% believe it's real.
I do too.
But I do think this time around, Tyron Woodley, he got one payday. He's looking for the next bag. He's going to get the bag. Yeah. But I don't think he wants to be a two-loss chump to him. But I have a feeling, just like sometimes we see these fights, and it's like, really? The judge? I don't understand the judge scorecard here. I think it's going to be one of those.
I mean, it could easily be. Jake. It could easily be because the first fight, listen, Woodley did, I wouldn't say impressed me, but he did show me that, you know what, he's not a faded UFC guy. He's 37 years old. I was expecting to see a faded guy out there. And when he fought Paul, he wasn't. Yeah. He came, he put up a good fight. Clearly on the scorecards, on my scorecards, he clearly lost, though. A couple of rounds were 100% his, especially around the Hardyman. But when that one judge scored it almost exact opposite for Woodley, I just scratched my head and I'm like, honestly, what were you watching? Because you can like Jake Paul or hate Jake Paul. Our predictions, my predictions for sure, I don't make them based on who I like. Right. I make them based on who I think is going to win. Right. It's not like I'm rooting for Paul to win. I'm not. I have nothing against the kid. I think unlike most professional boxers, I think what he's doing is good for boxing. People think I'm crazy. I think Paul's good for boxing. He's doing a lot of good. He's bringing a lot of light to the name, to boxing. I don't think the boxing's reputation is based off of Paul. That's why I don't think that he's ever can bring bad press to boxing because I think he brings bad press to himself. But I think overall, boxing, I don't think he's bringing bad press to it, man.
No, I don't think
he's putting real fighters on the cards.
We've talked for months on different storylines and things like that in professional boxing that's brought its own bad press and bad light. Yep. Deontay Wilder, all these guys in the lightweights that just can't be healthy and fight each other. I mean, there's stuff already. Yep.
It's already there. It's already ingrained.
It's already there. So it'll be an interesting contest here this weekend on Saturday in Tampa on Showtime pay-per-view. If you have the $60, you want to see something interesting, that's great. The card, and there's a couple fights on here that make sense. You mentioned Amanda Serrano. She's taking on Miriam Gutierrez. That should be the fight right before. You got the mix between the former NBA and the former NFLer, Darren Williams, formerly of the Utah Jazz and whoever else he may have played for, and then Frank Gore, who was a journeyman, he just constantly played. He played running back for so long in the league.
He's durable.
He's durable. What do you think on that fight? I know what I think because how good are basketball players in boxing?
No disrespect, basketball players. I love basketball. It's actually one of my favorite sports to play. But I don't think you stand a chance against a football player, especially a running back who's taken brutal beatings with helmets and pads. And as a basketball player, I blow on LeBron James and he falls over.
I'll be disrespectful about it because no NBA player or basketball player stands a chance in a ring against a former football player,
I don't
especially
disagree with that
that
one.
position. And I'm pretty sure Frank Gore is older than Darren Williams. Darren Williams, washed up. He kind of fell off and retired. There was no exit parade for this guy. Frank Gore, a stud running back, played for the Bills, played for the Niners.
Yep. He had a hell of a career with the Niners.
I'm not a Hurricane fan. We came from the U down there. So you know what? He is going to knock Darren Williams out in the first round.
Ooh, that's bold. I think that what's going to happen because he's so durable and boxing is still tough, even though I think that Gore wins. I don't know if Gore can throw a good enough punch to knock him out. So I think it's going to go a little bit. What I predict is going to happen is that Frank Gore's going to end up making Darren Williams quit.
Yeah.
I think he's going to end up quitting because he's going to be so tired. He's going to be getting hit, but I don't think you're going to see like a highlight reel knockout. However, if Gore highlight reel knocks him out, I'll be like, yeah, you know what? That's what should have happened for sure because he's tough.
So it'll be an interesting card overall. We can Trav
there's a couple other pro boxers on that
tell
card.
me what else is going on.
They just added not too long ago, Jaleon Love, who originally, if you go back to the Paul fights, he originally. Woodley was in Ben Askren's corner, right? Yep. Jaleon Love and Woodley were actually getting into a feud and mouthing off to each other. And I really don't think Woodley knew who Love was because I'm going to tell you right now, Jaleon Love knocks Woodley out within 2 rounds if they ever fought in a boxing match. So it's a good thing Woodley chose Paul because literally Jaleon Love's a legit guy. But Jaleon Love is fighting Marcus Oliveira, who's 28-5. Jaleon Love is 24-3. World title challenger, the guy, I think world champion even. The guy is a legit guy, and he's added to the card. And you know what's ironic is Anthony Taylor, who fought Tommy Fury on the previous Jake Paul card, right? He's fighting on this card again. He's fighting on this card again against Chris Avila, who's 0-1. So I'm like, well, what's going on with this?
Well, we wouldn't call it necessarily a stacked card, but it's a card.
No, you're going to get a couple 2 to 3 entertaining fights. That's counting the Paul fight. I think the Paul fight's going to be entertaining. Everybody keeps telling me they're like, oh, Paul's bad. It's not going to be the most high-level elite Canelo Alvarez Lomachenko type of boxing match, but it's going to be entertaining, I promise you.
Yeah. Now, speaking of, and we're going to switch gears here, we're going to talk about said Lomachenko, right? He took on Richard Comey, I believe, last weekend. Actually, Weekend Trav, he happens to be our Beardsman. No. Take that back. Take that. That's for the end.
Okay.
That's for the end.
He also is.
He happens to be our Moneyshot of the week. It's somewhere around here.
Picture my money gun and money flying everywhere.
All right, so Lomachenko, he's taking on Richard Comey, and round 7 is what we're talking about, and hopefully you could see it up there unless YouTube decided to be mean to us.
Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. We're good people.
We got tens of people that are watching this. We don't want to be embarrassed.
Tens. Come on.
We can't be embarrassed any further.
We're 2 wise men. We don't embarrass us.
We're going to get to the Wiseman. So round 7, the Matrix landed a nice
short left hand, right on the boom, or on the button.
Yeah,
dropped Comey.
Walk me through that a little bit, and his response afterwards.
Walk you through it. I think Comey walked into that left hand. He was actually sitting there, but it was a nice little. They got inside really close, and that's why Lomachenko is very good because he does short, quick punches. He can punch from any angle. That's what they call him the Matrix. He punches from angles, and he can punch from anywhere. He's in position always. They were in really close, just a short, tight left hand right on the button. Floored Comey. After that, I was a little upset because the over-under on the betting odds was 8.5 rounds, and Teofimo Lopez knocked out Comey in the first or second round.
Right.
what was upsetting was when Comey got up, because he's a tough dude, he will never quit. He gets up, Lomachenko starts beating on him a little bit more, steps back, looks at the corners like, what are you doing? Stop the fight. I'm beating the crap out of this guy. Literally. Like, there's audio picked up of him being like, come on, what are you doing? Stop this fight.
Yeah.
They don't stop it, so he goes in, beats him up some more, staggers him some more, looks back and is like looking at the ref, and everybody's like, what the heck? But then guess what? The fight ends up going 12 rounds.
Yeah.
I 100% know that Lomachenko is a good dude. He's got a good heart, and he didn't want to finish this
That was
guy.
going to be my question. Do you think it was just
I do.
Okay. Just
I really
out of
do.
respect?
I think so. I don't think it was I don't think there was any, like,
Does that
he didn't throw it.
Does that
but
happen often? Do you think that happens often in the ring? Just one guy being respectful, not wanting to just embarrass the other guy?
Yeah, there's been a couple instances where literally, I want to say Tyson Fury might have been involved in a fight earlier in his career where he was beating the snot out of a guy on the ropes, stopped, looked at the ref, was like, stop the fight. Like, literally yelled at him, and he wouldn't. So he punched him a couple more times, and I think the ref finally did it. So it doesn't happen often.
But even like carrying a guy to the end, do you see that happen, or do you think that happens much?
I really don't. I think sometimes the guys that end up making it to the end, it looks like they're carrying him. Some guys are actually really good at surviving, is what I call it. A veteran is good at surviving.
I'm pretty sure Comey was more surviving, and he survived.
Yeah, he was, but I could tell that there was no killer instinct, though, for Lomachenko at that point. The last 2 rounds, he was, like, comfortable with a win. He was comfortable. He's like, you know what? He still hit him. It's not like he didn't hit him. He still tried to hit him, but you could tell that he didn't try to press it enough.
Now, we went back
was
and
cool
forth.
with it.
We went back and forth a little bit, trying to figure out this money shot of the week. There's a couple other other things going on. There were some ladies' fights, boxing, also a big
Give it honorable mention.
big upset in the MMA world with what's her
Amanda
name?
Nunez.
Amanda Nunez and
Renee?
No.
What'd you say it was?
Pena?
You know what? Pena. Yes, Pena. It was. I'll tell you right now.
I mean, that was a big deal according to everybody, and so that was nice. We thought about it. But ultimately, and we even thought about it for the Beardsman of the week too. But those ladies don't have nice beards.
They were going to get mad. Juliana Pena.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Juliana
That's
Pena
right.
pulled
That's
off the
right.
win.
She's a veteran. She's been going all the way back to like Ultimate Fighter stuff. But
Didn't
anyway,
she say something funny in the post-fight press conference too? She cussed. She said something somebody else said.
listen.
One of the male. I forgot what it was, but it was good. It was good.
When does a lady make a funny joke?
We're banned. We're done.
We? I
We're
mean,
just banned.
honestly, let's be.
Shout
Okay,
out-
somebody tell me. When has there been a funny joke from a lady comedian that you're like, oh my gosh, this is one of the funniest things I've ever heard?
I mean, I should try and think of something right now, but I can't off the top of my head. But yes, I think historically
I'm just
speaking,
being a realistic person. I'm not trying to be misogynist. I'm just being realistic.
males dominate the comedy industry for sure.
Yeah.
You really don't see too many like stand-up women, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's kind of fair. There's some like movies that the women say some funny stuff.
Yeah, but who wrote the script? Oh, okay. So
Man.
so we thought about it.
We're dead.
So we thought about it, but we gave like Loma obviously money shot of the week. A high profile fighter.
Yep.
We want to see him back in the mix.
100%.
For those belts.
He deserves it.
And I think hopefully that'll tee up for Australia later on. But anyways, so that was that. And then we're like, okay, well maybe he gets the Beardsman of the week too. Maybe.
I mean,
he's got a beard. I mean, you'll see it here.
Look,
I'll put the photo right here.
This was the side view of his beard at the weigh-in, and then the front view is the next photo as well. I think his beard is solid.
But you know what we have to do with this?
What?
Is that we have to bring it back to what everyone wants to watch and hear us talk about. The real Beardsman of the week, probably because we just saw the video of it. It's got to be Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
That thing is, it's
got a good
cut
one.
nicely.
It is. It's got that dark, full effect, and it's getting longer.
I'm jealous on the
it's
shaping and the fullness.
Listen, I actually, just for the sake of our Beardsman of the Week show, I kind of, if he wins, I wouldn't mind giving him. He'll probably get the money shot too. You know what? We're gonna make a bold say. Okay. If he wins, Woodley, he earned the honors of money shot of the week and Beardsman of the week. We're gonna say it right now. If he wins, he's getting it.
Yeah, you would
right?
expect that, sure.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
He's got it. If he wins, he's got it.
Unless there's like a really good hit, like NFL or something like that. 'Cause we have never done that.
This is true.
I would like to see that.
And there's some good ones.
There's going to be some good ones. There's got to be. But either way, so we went back and forth, but ultimately, Beardsman of the week, it's going back to the fight.
Vasily Lomachenko.
No, man, Tyron Woodley.
Wait, he
That
gets it
beard's
this
better.
week?
Yeah.
You're going to. Oh, okay. All right.
No.
All right. All right. I
No.
thought we were giving it to him next week if he wins.
We can give them to both right now.
All right, let's do it.
We're doing both?
Do both.
Fine.
It'll be the first time. Do both. Why?
Fine.
You know what? We run this podcast. We can
run
do
it.
anything we
run
want.
all of this.
We
And
can
if
do
you're still
anything we
watching
want.
at this point, we appreciate that. And if you're not subscribing, you should be subscribing below and checking off this thing. And you could hit dislike all you want, but now they don't put that on there. So whatever. So Weekend Trev. We digress. What are we drinking?
Well,
I can't read
we
the
are.
shades, so what are we
That
drinking?
it just says the Wiseman.
So
It's a Kentucky straight bourbon.
we're drinking Wiseman for the wise men.
A wise man.
Wise man
once said.
Bourbon for the wise men here, which we are pretty wise. You follow our predictions.
We're we are.
Pretty close, pretty accurate. You know,
We're pretty
we
good.
talk about a lot of stuff here.
You know what? We are right more than we are wrong.
Yeah,
Solid.
30% of the time, it's right every time.
60% of the time, it works every time.
So we're drinking Wise Man from Kentucky.
I'm not gonna lie, this smells like straight gasoline.
That's an excellent movie. If you please comment below.
That's why it
if you're
reminded
hearing
me
us
of
by
that.
now, comment below. What movie is that? Because that is one of
I'm
the
not
best
gonna lie.
movies ever.
It smells like pure gasoline.
Yeah.
So
Weekend Trav, what are we thinking? Because we got to rate something. It's been a while since
I know we haven't
that.
rated actually for a bit, but you know what? Because we haven't had, we haven't been so wise.
No.
So we needed the Wiseman bourbon.
Because this is the nativity season. This is the Christmas season.
Yeah, I thought you were going something else, but we already said it. I forgot.
Oh, did we?
You set it up for that almost.
Oh, did I?
Like because we are.
Oh,
I
no,
thought you
no,
were going
no.
there.
No, we already did that. But we're two of the wise men. We're just missing the third wise man. We really are. And
Where's
it's-
the third Wiseman at?
I
Can we
don't
just
know.
can we just invent
I'm
something?
going to drink enough till I actually see somebody that's not there as the third wise man. How about that?
All right, deal.
Okay, done. So
like
wise
it.
man, Kentucky straight. I think it's straight, right?
Yep. Right.
Yes. What are you giving it? 0 to 10 boxing gloves. What are you giving this thing?
I'm gonna go a 6.8, which is pretty high on my scale. I don't think I've only done a couple over that.
I enjoy it. I've let the ice kind of release into the bourbon. Gives it a nice little sweet flavor.
Release the Kraken.
Yeah, the released in there. So what I'm going to do because of that release flavor, I'm going to give this a 7.0.
Oh.
That's going to average us to a 6.9. Because that release just tasted so good, man.
That's. I mean,
What?
good.
The
It was,
bourbon.
it was a very good
Wiseman
choice.
bourbon.
It was a very good choice. I think it was a very solid rating. I think an average of a 6.9 is pretty solid.
6.9. So there you go. And a lot of these little add-ons to this episode were to Dale, a friend of ours, because he's called us out
Multiple
in
times.
a friendly way about the fact
Multiple
that we're
times.
missing drinking, we're missing
Beardsman.
we're missing all this, and you're like, yeah, you're right.
He's not wrong.
You're not
wrong, Dale.
You're actually, when you're not wrong, you're actually right.
This happens.
And you're right.
And
So-
you know, we can admit when we're wrong. We can.
So to recap.
Because we're wise men.
So to recap, we got a money shot of the week.
We
That
did.
was Lomachenko.
It was well deserved.
He was also the half Beardsman of the week, along
half
with
Beardsman.
Tyron Woodley, because we saw it and we just couldn't resist. It looks too good.
I told you it was
You were
good.
trying to tell me Jake Paul. Man, Jake Paul's beard is
Listen, it
horrible.
is not horrible,
It's
but
horrible.
if there was a contest between Woodley and Paul's beard, Woodley gets it.
Woodley,
But you know
knockout.
why? You know why? Because we're racist because we both like the dark black beards. And Jake Paul's got the
Yeah.
almost like blondish, reddish tint.
Yeah.
I'm against it, you know? He's pretty much a
we're-
ginger.
We're racist against the Anglo-Saxon beard. Got it.
Yep.
Discriminatory. We shouldn't say racist. That's
I'm just
like
saying.
It's a mean word.
I'm just
That's a
saying,
really
I do
harsh
like
word.
the dark beard.
Well, that's what I got.
The dark, exactly. So
good.
we're very pro
Mine's already
Woodley
like this.
beard.
I don't know what to do. And I'm just letting it go.
You are, dude. You're letting it all hang out, bro. It's just like,
Hanging out with Oyster.
it's,
I didn't say it.
I mean, you should have.
Hang out with my what?
Yep, that's
So to recap, we
I'm
have
gonna
that.
rock out
We have
with
the money
my-
shot. And all of a sudden, we're talking about Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley again. We gave our predictions. Weekend Trav saying Jake Paul by majority decision. I am saying Jake Paul by split decision, marred in controversy.
Listen, I think he's going to win a unanimous decision. I think we're going to see something stupid, like somebody's going to score a draw. I think it's an 8-round fight, right? Is it 8 rounds scheduled for it? Yeah, it's scheduled for 8. So I think you're going to see, what was 8 rounds? What am I thinking? 70, 75, 75, I think would be. No, 76, 76, 74, 75? I don't know what the draw would be.
I'm not doing
I should
the
know
math.
that by now. Yeah, 76, 76. That's a draw. So I think you're going to see a 76, 76 unfairly, in my opinion. But I still see the ultimate winner. My prediction is Jake Paul. We both are on point with that.
Okay.
If something crazy happens and it's really a split decision or a majority decision, it's going to be crazy. Shouldn't be, I don't think. But it's boxing. Anything can happen, man.
Anything happened.
Jake Paul almost went down from a shot from Woodley, so who knows? That could happen. You know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to throw it out there. I think we're going to see a knockdown in this fight.
Okay.
I think somebody gets floored, and I'm not sure who that is yet.
Okay.
I think there's a good possibility that if Jake Paul gets floored, I think Jake Paul might get floored, get up and win like 6 or 7 rounds straight after that.
I'll give you one
I'm going to
more.
go there.
I think within the first 3 rounds, they both hit their butts hit the
I
canvas.
like it. You know what? We're going
The butts,
above
not
and
the full
beyond.
body, but the butt.
Yep, got you.
Okay.
Above and beyond.
So we'll
I
see
like
what
it.
happens. It should
double
be an
knockout.
interesting evening, ladies and gentlemen. That is Saturday the 18th on Showtime pay-per-view. $60 gets you Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley, Amanda Serrano, Miriam Gutierrez, Darren Williams, and Frank Gore, and some others. So, you know, boxing, I'm going to steal his thunder. Boxing's back or is here. I guess you can't really say boxing's back if every week we say the same
You
thing.
can't call it a comeback.
It's
when it's never
here.
left.
Boxing's here.
It's here. It's exactly. That's it. It's here.
here.
It's on fire.
Boxing's
It's
here.
here. It's staying. It's very stable. It has been very stable for a while.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
growing. And you know what? It's growing in part to a Jake Paul, whether people want to admit it or not.
Stable and
he's
growing.
keeping us in the.
good.
He's keeping us in. He's keeping us in the headlines and keeping us in the game. And I'm only laughing because of you. But Jake Paul's keeping the headlines up. He's keeping boxing matches going on.
Is that
He's
your-
keeping boxing erect.
Well, will that be your final word here, guy?
I think it should be.
Yeah, he's keeping it stiff. Stiff competition. I think we're just going to
I better knock on wood.
Ooh. Yeah, wow. I don't have any other euphemism. So with that over there with his nice Christmassy shirt.
I'm still rocking the
Sorry,
shirts.
we didn't even
Yep.
draw attention to it.
We're still rocking the shirts.
But that over there is Weekend Trav.
With my weekend Trav attire. That there's B Money, a.k.a. producer, a.k.a. the man.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe below. Give us a like. Give us a comment. God bless.
Or I'll punch you.
In the stomach.
In the stomach, not the balls.
The sack.
Probably the stomach,
in
but
Santa's
mainly
sack.
the balls. We don't know.
I'm going to punch you in the Santa sack.
In the Santa sack.